Sunday. SESE Sunday is a time where we practice self-care while also having a little girl talk. Today's topic is going to be being an athlete's girlfriend or wife. My experience with it, some challenges, just have a little talk about it. While also styling my hair with a new combo. It's a new combo to y'all, not to me, but I loved it so much I had to put y'all on. We'll be using the AG Care Leave On Conditioner and the Uncle Funky's Daughter Super Curl Miracle Moisture Cream. And we are trying the Abib Collagen Eye Mask. I feel like I'm glowing right now. One, go skincare. Two, I'm just so excited to jump in, so let's do it. If you're new here, my name is Keisha Dupuy, and if you're not, you're loyal. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell down below if you're interested in seeing weekly hair or skin product reviews, tips, tricks, and advice every Sunday. I want to apply my eye patches. I've never used these, but I've heard great things about them, so let's try it together. This is a hydro eye patch. You're gonna apply these after applying your toner on cleanse, makeup-free face. Place eye patches on your concerned areas such as under eye, smile lines, and cheeks using the spoon method. Boop. Leave it on for 20 to 30 minutes. Gently remove, massage the access into your skin, and do the rest of your skincare. So I do have freshly washed face, so I'm excited to put these on. These are Korean eye patches. And let me tell you something about Korean skincare. If you're new to this channel, I love Korean skincare, especially the packaging. Like having a little spatula spoon thing so that we can get the eye patches out without making a mess. Love, especially because these are clearly very jelly. Wow, so look in here. They're really goopy. Can you see all that Access product on them? If I start loving these, I will do an update if I notice anything drastic under my eye. Slightly textured, very interesting. Okay, and let's do the other side. And I'm just gonna be able to keep these on and chat the whole time, being that it says to keep on for 20 to 30 minutes. Okay. This has way more product on them than I expected. I appreciate it. I'm just gonna wipe it on my neck. Okay, the eye patches have been applied. So let's chat and style our hair. Okay, I look a little crazy because I'm parting my hair so I can get to styling. Just in case you're new to either of these products, the leave-on conditioner is meant to hydrate your hair, manage frizz, and it's super lightweight. I can tell you that this also is pricey. It's $30 a bottle, but a little goes a long way, and it smells delicious, like a fruity cereal. I love it, actually. Okay, I have noticed so far that these patches move down a bit. It has so much extra product, I'm not shocked. So I'm just gonna slide it back up. Otherwise, they're passing the shake test, so we're good. Then we have the Super Curl Miracle Moisture Cream. It has almond oil, shea butter, and vitamin A. It's meant to hydrate, detangle, define, and add moisture to dry curls. If you're here for girl talk, I really appreciate you. Before we even chat, comment down below what sport your partner plays and how long you guys have been together. That'd be so cute. I'll start. My man is a professional MMA fighter, and we've been together for 6 years. We're almost at 1 year married. And it's been a heck of a journey. MMA, if you're not familiar with it, is a very violent sport. They literally highlight how violent it is. When we first got together, it was in New York. And the fight scene in New York versus in Texas, where we now live, very different. And it made a drastic difference in our experience, both for him as the athlete and me as his girl. A few friends of ours recently have lost their fights, and this has been sitting heavy on my mind, that I want to connect more with athlete wives. Because the experience of being not the athlete but still feeling a huge emotional toll is insane. And only other partners of these athletes can get it. As MMA specifically is an individual sport, but you still train as a team for a reason. Like you all feel it when someone doesn't get that win. And I actually really like that it isn't such a solo experience. I want to talk about 3 things in this conversation. 1, some experiences I had that you may have had as well and thought you were alone. You're not. 2, some tips, some best practices if you are new to being an athlete, if you're new to being a professional athlete's partner. And I highlight professional because I do think there's a difference between, you know, when it's more amateur and professional. And then 3, being that SESE Sunday is about girl talk but also self-care, the 3rd thing I want to highlight is how you can be sure to be taking care of yourself throughout this journey. I feel like I'm still pretty young in this journey, but 6 years is long enough, and I know I have a lot to share. 2 main experiences that come to mind that would make you feel like you're a little crazy, but I promise you you're not, is 1, missing your partner and just being like, God dang, you give so much of your time to this sport. And 2, this might be a little particular to MMA, but when they're in camp and they are absolute jerks. Okay, so camp you can equivalent to tournament championship seasons, whatever they're called in football, you know, like there is a more intense period that happens when MMA fighters are in camp and they turn into little demon babies, and it's hard. So let's break into that. My husband is a heavyweight MMA fighter, God willing, a future UFC heavyweight champ. Absolutely. Give me some prayer hands in the comment section if you with me. Okay, same to you and yours. And I highlight that he's a heavyweight because camp for heavyweights versus smaller weight classes in MMA look a lot different, because typically the smaller guys are doing something that is called cutting weight. It's really intense. It could be so scary because they're literally really extreme dieting while also training super hard to get ready to fight someone. MMA is crazy. So I know that that experience is different compared to other professional sports because unless they're in another fighting type of discipline, they wouldn't be cutting weight. And I have also been around our friends when they're in camp and doing all these things. I'm saying all that. It gets intense because they are just so hyper focused on their goal, as they should be, but with it comes with a lot of attitude or emotions, and it can be a lot. I just want to give you a virtual hug and say you are not alone. They are a little crazy. They're a little crazy. They're super sensitive during these times. And I get it though, right? Like, especially when it's an individual sport, it really it comes down to you and what you could do. So I get it. And then the timing, they spend so much time practicing their sports, and as they should. They're professionals. Hopefully professional in your sport means they're getting some money for it. Typically it's not enough, like it's not at the level that you feel when you're comparing it to how often you get to see your person, and it can suck. Don't ever feel bad about wanting to see your person more. Definitely we want to be careful as their partners how we're communicating it, but you shouldn't feel bad because it is rough. Sometimes you just want to see your person, and I hear you and I feel you, and I love that because that also says a lot about your partnership and you wanting to be around them and be with them. With that being said, I segue into some best practices that no one told me. I want to talk about some best practices next. And this is a little unique because he is the first real athlete that I am a girlfriend for. I didn't grow up doing this. You would have a different experience. I started this in adulthood, and I know for sure that that's very different. Because it was new to me, and because we were living in New York before versus the Texas scene, all of it, a lot of my involvement and approach to it just came on my own, learned on my own, took from making, you know, friends in the communities that he was in and the gyms that he were in, talking to his family. Like, I just figured it out. It's actually really a reason why I wanted to talk more about it, because it makes a difference. So let's chat. For me, I love being in his gyms. I love seeing who he's around. I love understanding what he's doing. I love understanding and when I say what he's doing, I mean it in two ways. Both what the sport is and the moves that he does, but also what are you doing with your time so that it's not like this big mysterious thing in my mind. I do think that that can be different for a lot of people's relationships. So totally navigate that with your partner to see if they would appreciate you being around that much, if it would hinder them in any way when they're doing their when they need to be focused. Definitely figure it out, but also for your comfort. Maybe it's your time to find your own hobby. Maybe you don't want to be around them all the time. Especially my man goes to the gym every single day. Every day. So I don't go every day, not at all. But I do like to go once a week. I made it a thing. Everyone knows that they can pretty much expect me on that day. It's a big, exciting moment because I get to hang out. That's how I made friends with the other wives and girlfriends. I'm pretty sure some of them started coming more because I am always present. It allows me to make friends with his friends in the gym so that there wasn't that separation. And again, that is what works for my relationship, having that separation. Not that I was assuming anything at all about my man, but it was separate in my mind. And in those moments where I'm like, dang, you're giving so much to the sport, I feel like I didn't have too much of that because I was in this space. Even back in New York when it wasn't as much, when I could, I would go. He also really loves when me and his mother works out. So there was a push from him too to be in the space where he loves and is comfortable in and knows that they would take care of my health. So there was an element to just me being around. Overall, genuinely, I found that for our relationship, both physically healthy for me, but also just knowing his community, knowing his friends, it helped us be more comfortable with him giving so much time to the gym. He's working his butt off and he's surrounded by people who's doing the same or supporting the vision. And it makes me feel more comfortable that I can pop up and be treated just as a part of the gym as he is. It's super comfortable to me. My second best practice would be, and this is gonna be probably the hardest thing, regulate your emotions. Sometimes in MMA, I started off saying it's violent, and I mean it is violent. People get choked, knocked out, blood everywhere, busted open eyebrows and ear. Like, I've seen some crazy stuff. I am lucky because I love it. I love the environment. I hate when my man or any of our friends and family is on the negative side of a win. Absolutely. But the environment is actually really enjoyable for me. So there's an added benefit for myself where it isn't so, where I get excited to also be in the space. It helps me support him better. But when it comes to regulating emotions, because I understand how much can go into the sport and the possibility of a negative outcome, it allowed me hold my emotions in so I can take care of his emotions. I can support him and let him know we're standing strong. And we walking out of here 10 toes. We don't gotta have a smile on our face, but we walking out of here 10 toes. We're gonna be respectful. We're gonna have sportsmanship. And you know, we might be down right now, but we're gonna walk out with our head up. How to regulate your emotions. That's probably my biggest teaching to friends and families, wives, girlfriends, cousins, brothers. I don't care who you are. Anytime you see me in a spot of an MMA fight and I see someone showing a little too much emotion, I'm like, if you regulate, show your person love, and keep it pushing. I don't care what sport it is, that goes across every sport. Regulate your emotion when it's something negative. If it's something positive, turn up. Show all the love and excitement. It helps. I know it makes a difference for them because seeing you cry and be emotional, it would make them feel more turmoil. So help them by, you know, keeping it together. But if the goal is to take this far, or they're already at the top level of their sport, NFL, UFC, NBA, like whatever it is, period, heck yeah, be helpful, be supportive in the home, in their daily life. I basically act like his assistant sometimes because he's gonna forget the other things he has going on. Let me book your flight so that you don't mess it up. Let me make the appointment so that you don't mess it up. And it took me a little while, especially in my younger age, to be like okay with that, because I'm like, I'm not your mother. But I did have to realize, especially when it is at the level where they're financially supporting more in the household, I am traditional enough to say, heck yeah, I'll do more for you when you cover more, you know. Or for me, I did it a little earlier, that whole support and do more and help, a little more helpful, because I understand that we're also working towards a bigger goal. That was okay for me. I will cook every day so that you're fed. I will make you some sandwiches so that you have them on the go. I will do your laundry so that you don't have to think about it and your clothes are just nice and fresh and yummy smelling so that you can go. I will do a random act of kindness and buy you some knee pads, buy you a bag, you know. Find ways where you can show them that you are supporting them, that you're excited for them, and that you're happy to make things a little easier on them, especially during those camps and tournament seasons. Let's find a way to be helpful. It really does help your relationship, because I find that once I started figuring out how I could do things that could help him out, it was just nicer. Like, it was, you know, it was something else that was out the way. And when he was able to realize how much it was helping him, things were just a lot nicer and smoother, and he just showed so much gratitude and excitement that I could do that for him. Making little burritos so that he can grab and go. Like, just small things like that really made things, mind you, I actually kind of hate cooking now, just because that man eat a lot. But again, like, I can acknowledge how much of a difference it makes. I kind of mentioned this best practice earlier, but I want to really highlight it. Figure out what the balance is for the two of you. How involved do you want to be? How involved do they want you to be? Do they want you at every practice? Do they want you at every scrimmage? Do they want you at every game? Where is the line for both of you so that everyone understands the role here? I don't play about not being involved in things, right? Like, I need to be involved. I need to know who you're around, and I want them to know who I am, because that's just, I think it's a more inviting situation when partners know who they're around. I see no reason why it could ever be a negative thing to know who's around. Now, if being super involved isn't your style, that's okay. But still being aware of what it is that they're doing can make a huge difference in how you view the sport and view their experience. Really quick, if you made this far, I hope you like, subscribe, because you're already vibing with your girl. On this channel, we care about having glowing skin and growing our hair, all at an affordable price. If that's something that you can relate to, comment down below right now. Some mango and or watermelon emojis, so I know you made it this far, because I want to show you so much love and appreciation. But also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep watching. So originally I was gonna take this out and show you guys the results and pop in a little clip of what it looks like the next day, but it's so dark out, it's about to storm, which means it's gonna be really wet out. So now it's gonna be just twist, and I'll keep it in for a few days. But look at how shiny and pretty. Oh, this one has a little frizz, so ignore that one. But all the other ones are so pretty, and I promise y'all, the result is gonna be so cute. Very happy with this twist out, this combo, this Uncle Funky Super Curl Cream and the AG Care Leave On Conditioner. So good together. I got so many compliments the first time I did it, and I'm sure I'm gonna get more. Then it's been more than 30 minutes with these eye patches. The main thing I would know about the Abib eye patches is that the gel is very cool. It does feel nice on the skin, and it dries into these translucent patches, which are awesome, and they stay really well. They sink in the longer that they're on, but you do want to not move too much when you first apply them, because literally they move down a bit, so I'll get better about not moving at first so that they stay up there. Overall though, look at that hydrated look under my eye and over here. these are very nice. I will likely do a 1 month update using these, see if it does a little something extra to my under eye. Definitely am going to be using them before I do makeup days, because this feels so nice and smooth. It absorbs really well into my skin. That actually is a great segue into my last point. Please take care of yourself. Supporting your partner is always going to be a beautiful journey, ups and downs, especially with MMA. Very high highs, very low lows. But take care of yourself. You can't take care of anyone else if you're not taking care of yourself. That's really what I want to hone in on SESE Sundays. You may want to be around your partner when they're practicing, or it's a great time to incorporate your own hobbies. This is my hobby. I love chatting with you guys. I love trying new products. I'm just a beauty lover, and I love to yap. So YouTube is my hobby, and I try to make as much time as I can and be better at content creating, incorporating TikTok, all of it, right? And whatever that is for you, even if it's a different type of sport, genuinely make time for it and know your limits. It is one thing to be an amazing partner and supporter for them, but you also got to know how much you are able to hold. Like when you're in the airplane and they're doing the instructions and they tell you to put the mask on yourself first before putting it on others, because you can't help someone if you're going down yourself. So it can be a tough journey, and I really did want to highlight the challenges. Because we know the highs, but it's the lows that I feel like people don't really speak too much about, especially from the aspect of being the partner. So if there's any other topics that you want to highlight about being an athlete's partner, any questions you have for me, please comment them down below. I'd be more than happy to cover those topics. I'll see you at the next SESE Sunday with another girl talk topic and another self-care practice. Thank you so much for being here. Comment down below if you have any product suggestions or video requests. If your idea is selected, you will get a shout out. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back soon. Ciao.